A Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance heading to North Carolina for a rally. And Vice President Kamala Harris is going to Arizona after making another appearance in Michigan this morning. Both tickets held dueling rallies in Detroit last night, where Harris did face some backlash. She was interrupted by anti-Israel protesters about halfway through her scripted speech. During the Democratic primaries earlier this year, more than 100,000 Michigan Democrats voted uncommitted to protest the party's handling of the war in the Middle East. Yesterday was Senator Vance's second appearance in Michigan since being tapped as former President Trump's running mate. Earlier in the day, he also stopped in Wisconsin, where he said he is ready to debate Democratic VP nominee Tim Walz.
One of the things that's really frustrated me about Kamala's campaign is that she seems totally uninterested in actually talking to American voters and persuading them. If there's a single issue around which I think Governor Walz has to answer when it comes to his record, this is a guy who says that he stands for public safety, but actively encouraged the rioters who burned down Minneapolis. And I think that if you want to say you stand for public safety, you cannot look the American people in the eye and say, well, I welcome the people who caused $13 billion of damage to Minneapolis because I encouraged them to burn my city to the ground, rather than exercise some basic self-control and rather encourage law enforcement to do.
Meantime, this morning, Harris is being accused of dodging questions about her running mate and her own record as vice president. It has officially been 18 days since she's answered some tough questions from the press, which could be part of her playbook. Politico reporting that, according to two people familiar with the campaign's thinking, there are ongoing discussions about a joint interview with Harris and Walz prior to the convention. But on the whole, Harris's top communication aides are deeply skeptical, as Biden's inner circle was, that doing big interviews with major TV networks or national newspapers offer much real upswing when it comes to reaching swing voters. Critics, though, argue she isn't doing interviews because she can't defend her own record.
She's incompetent. And after they studied it a little bit, they realized it's not going to be so easy to do. So they say, well, look, the press is going to do whatever we want because the press is a rigged deal. The press is the media, outside of you people, of course, but the media is so they're trying to build her up to the next Margaret Thatcher liberal version, and I don't believe it's going to happen. I hear she's hasn't taken one interview. She would never do an interview like this. That I can guarantee with any network. She doesn't do interviews because she can't answer questions. I don't know how she debates. I heard she's sort of a nasty person, but not a good good debater. But we'll see, because we'll be debating her, I guess, in the pretty near future. It's going to be announced fairly soon, but we'll be debating her.
And tomorrow, Trump's going to hold a rally in Montana. Next Monday, he's scheduled to be interviewed by ex-owner Elon Musk. And Musk has said he is also open to interviewing Harris.